need to add some more to this system, because the other thing that has to happen, and the last time I did this, I tried venting out like polluted water, and I did not particularly care for that. So what we're gonna do, you need a few things to set the system up properly, because the latrines put out more polluted water. It's a cool steam vent. The latrines put out more polluted water than they take in fresh water, so you have to have a way to vent out some of the water from the system at some points here. Yeah, that's what we're doing here, is closed cycle laboratories. So it's a little bit of a labor of love these days to freaking get set up. Totes worth, though. It cuts down on your water consumption, which I'm all about making that better. And then let's see what we're doing here. You can do this one of two ways, and I just like canceled things, so I'm out of abyssallate again. God damn it. You can choose to vent out polluted germy water or clean germy water. I usually go with venting out clean germy water, because I don't know, I just prefer it, because then what I'll do is I'm just gonna vent it into this thing that feeds the carbon skimmer, because it doesn't matter if the water that goes into the carbon skimmer is germy. If I vent out like polluted germy water, then I end up with all this friggin' polluted germy water and nothing to do with it, especially since the fertilizer makers got changed, and I haven't really had time to look at that. Why is like gristleberry rotting? Ah, because it's not fucking going in here. So I prefer to vent out clean germy water, but they can, the way the game code currently works, they can wash their hands with germy water and still get rid of the germs. We need to go like more abyssallate hunting. Like, this can go. This can go. Yeah, which is basically what we're gonna do. We're gonna feed. We're gonna vent out into this carbon skimmer. But we're not, like, I think you're talking about closed looping, like, the carbon skimmer with a sieve. We're not gonna do that. But you're right, that can absolutely be a thing. I guess we can go through this abyssallate too. Yeah, I know you guys are suffocating. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. But yeah, Sandwraith is right. You can totally just hook up a sieve to a carbon skimmer and it will not take in very much, and it won't use very much of your clean water. I don't do that because, I don't know, reasons. The other thing I didn't do here, though, you know what? I don't actually know if it's germ-free because I dump my carbon water into a germy bin. So that is a fantastic question. I don't know if it'll scrub germs off of it. But it doesn't matter if it takes in germy water. It's of no consequence. It might be a way to clean water. And the blossoms can't get germs. Yeah, you can use germy water for that for sure. You can also use fresh, like, germy water for your electrolyzer setups. That's fine. It doesn't have to be germ-free. God, you guys are really dying. These things aren't getting done. That's about part of the problem. Yeah, so I'd like to power through my research. Like, just power through it, because there's nothing more annoying than trying to build something and you don't have the research to do it. And then I just tear down the setup and carry on with my life. Especially because, like, this lavatory system actually requires a little bit of research, because you have to have automation. You have to have, like, the liquid shutoff valve. You need to have some sort of sensor. I use a clock sensor. I don't know if one of the on-pipe sensors would work with that now. I haven't tried it. Do we have any friggin' abyssalite yet? No. Yeah, if you're mushing them. And if you're cooking food, it's relatively easy to manage food poisoning germs, to be honest. It's more slime lung that can be difficult sometimes, and even then, as long as you've got a med bait, normally they'll be fine, as long as they care. But yeah, the fertilizer synthesizer got nerfed. It needing the phosphorite is okay with me, because I always have tons of phosphorite that I never do anything with. But, the dirt is a problem. So, because dirt is already getting used for a lot of stuff. And now to build steel, like, you kind of need to do ranching, because you need the eggshells, which means you're probably going to be feeding your hatches and shit dirt. So, dirt's going to be kind of a hot commodity. The natural gas setup was, I don't know that I think it was stupid. But it was, like, it's not something that I use, like, a ton. I might, depending on how good, because they kind of normalized geysers a little bit and steam vents. Depending on how well this will feed a few, I might supplement it with a couple of fertilizer makers. But yeah, I don't think you'll see, yeah, I don't know that you'll see, I don't know that you'll see, yeah, these big, like, you know, because it was previously in older versions, it was 16 fertilizer makers to equal a natural gas geyser, which a natural gas geyser fed, like, several natural gas generators. So you'd see these huge, like, 40 fertilizer maker things, and I don't think you'll see that anymore. You could, though, with... You should still be able to automate, like, the delivery of the dirt and the phosphorite as well. I think it'll just be more difficult, though, and considerably less worth doing that setup. But I'm pretty sure you could still automate it. Do we have any more freaking abyssalite? Like, oh my god, this is such a labor of love. Such a labor of love. Okay, well, we're gonna clock sensor. You know you're suffocating. You're fine. And then we're gonna need some power, which we're gonna put up here. Yeah, we'll catch you, thanks for stopping by, Miss Futa, and chatting. We will catch you next time, maybe? Have a good night. It is the perfect combination for power in the mid-game. It works pretty good. It just works less good now. which I'm fine with. Because it now, I think, maybe offers a little... Because that was just what you did when you got to mid-game. You didn't really do other stuff. Fuck, this sucks that this is Broken Abyss Late again. Well, fertilizer makers was one way. Because you guys really need to build this thing. They, like, can't make it right now. That's terrible. Yeah, so the natural gas vent, this thing, which there's at least one, I'm pretty sure, in every, world. Flatulent tubes create it, which is annoying because then you just have to pump it out of your base. And then fertilizer makers pump out exactly. Oh, or did they change that again too? Yep, they sure did. Now you need 9 fertilizer makers just for one. Fertilizer makers just kind of like... Are we starving again? Fertilizer makers kind of just emit natural gas into the area around them. So that was how people were doing it. It's not necessarily the greatest way. Coal, especially with the smart batteries now, you can live off for quite some time, especially with the need to do ranching. The only thing is that hatches eat a lot. They eat like a lot. So unless you explore a lot and dig out like whole biomes, all of a sudden you'll be like out of crap to feed your hatches. That's happened to me a couple times. Unpermitted food. Yes, thank you, Windows Defender. Nobody's starving yet. I just want more Abyss Late. That's all. That's all. Let's see. Raw mineral. 16. Oh my god, I need so much more. It is currently 9 fertilizer makers to 1. Oh, to a natural gas geyser? I don't know. Because they averaged out like the geysers, they changed the values on them again, and it depends on how active your geyser is, right? So, but you need 9 fertilizer makers just to power 1 natural gas generator. So that's not great. The other thing I kind of screwed up here, so we're going to do this a little differently, is I had actually meant to put Wheezeworts beside this to kind of contain the heat a little bit, because this will warm up too. Hey, it was still unreachable food. Somebody fucking farm these. Farming needs to be more important to more people. Well, I guess it's not great when it's only important to the cook. And then we're gonna pop out some more, yeah. Some more of those. And do that. Okay, guys. Insufficient resources, water. Oh, we can't reach the water already. Okay, break that. We're running into 99 problems. And all I want to do is one thing before bed. That's all. That's all I ask for. Do one thing. It is a copper volcano. It's also pretty close to the base, and we're just gonna leave it right like it is for a while, because that's something that I don't particularly care to mess with at the moment. We're actually just gonna start tapping this. Shit, I won't be able to get in if I do that. Yeah, it's unlimited refined copper, but you have to be able to deal with the fact that it pumps it out at like 2200 degrees Celsius. So that's more of a like mid to late game thing that you deal with, because it doesn't necessarily work out as you would like it to. They emit a lot of heat. A lot of heat. I'm certainly not prepared to deal with it right now, because heat management at that temperature is still something that I struggle with sometimes. Yeah, I know everything has insufficient water because nobody's building this thing for me. So can we build... Because you really want to kind of cap off your water so nobody pees in the pool. But I think water displacement is going to make that a bit of a problem. But we're going to see. I mean, it would be super great to harvest that copper. But the other thing too is that, like, when it comes to refined metals, I use a lot of gold because, like, for radiant pipes and stuff, gold's the better one. This is such a perfect little, like, water tank of its own here. Yeah, you know, everybody's fucking suffocating. Did you fill the thing yet? Did you build this one? Look at you go. You built it. What's going on over here? Freaking abyss light's broken. Like everywhere I find abyss light. Oh yeah, and then I have a leaky oil fissure too. Like, not terribly far above my oil reservoir. So that's cool. Oil biome's a thing that you definitely need to have exosuits for. It's definitely a thing. Yeah, high stress, because none of you can ever breathe. We need some more, airflow tiles. We're gonna go here and here. And here and here. I prefer when they line up, but the way we did it this time isn't gonna really work like that. Building lacks resources. Planter box. Why? It's water. That's fine. Jobs mastered. Max has mastered the general engineer job. Oh yeah! What's the last time we looked at that? Why is food decaying? It's really best that it doesn't. Nothing has any power. We better not be out of coal again. We're not. Fill this thing. Let's look at the jobs. Somebody's suffocating. We need a supplier again. Badly. Bubbles? It's your new job, buddy. Max? You can be an electrical engineer. Sous chef, that's fine. Nisbet, you can stay the way you are for a little bit. Yeah, this is all fine. I'd kind of like to take another person because I like to just cram in a lot of dupes. but food's a little precarious for that. Who thinks supply is important? Because they're not supplying the very important thing right now. Where's my other... Yeah, he thinks it's important. He thinks it's important. And correct me if I'm wrong. No. Life support does not include power things. Algae terrariums, though. Yeah, a copper volcano is totally... I mean, well, I guess technically, if you go through a ton of it, they do have, like, limited outputs. Like, this one's 75 seconds every 750 seconds. But it's 2200 degrees. You have to... Yeah. You have to be able to deal with that before you open it up and let it become active, or you are going to have regrets. So, we're not in a place where we're using like a ton of refined metal. So we're just gonna stick with the rock granulator. I just really want to build this bathroom. So you know, we're gonna 10 times speed some shit. And hope that things don't fall apart when we do that. I used to almost, like after I turned on debug mode, I pretty much exclusively played on 10 times speed. But I felt like for streaming, that was not conducive to an interesting stream. Thanks for stopping by, Sosis. Thanks for the raid. It's super awesome of you. Super appreciate it. I hope you have a good day or evening or whatever time of the day you're on. And maybe we'll get you next time. Stress. Yep, that's fine. Automation's done. That's fine. Oh, right. Yeah, Nisbet, what are your priorities? Because you need to also think supply is important. Have Abyssal yet? So close. So close. We're getting this bathroom done, and then we're calling it a day because it's 20 after 1 in the morning, and I should still technically get up early tomorrow. Kinda have to. Is this another small? This is another small ice biome. I hope this seed isn't plagued with a bunch of tiny ice biomes, because I don't particularly love that. Now they can breathe in here again. So that's good. Germies are almost gone there. Yes, this cool steam geyser is pretty good because it's 5.6 kilograms. And it's been active a reasonable amount. I gotta get in there and get it analyzed. This annoys me though, because I would like to build like a room around it and go under it, and kind of like contain the heat and just pump out from underneath it. But this makes it a little bit of a problem, because you can't destroy these, which kind of, if there's anything that really frustrates me about this game, it might actually be that. Do we have abyss light? A little abyss light. Okay, so after insulated pipes, this is actually gonna have to come like this, and then we need to have I should have put a bridge in here. We need to have this happen. I think that's enough to fit the bridge in. I can never fit in bridges properly. There you go, this light bridge. Because that will make it always go this way into the bathroom system first. Before it comes into here. And we're gonna do this little loopy thing to give it time to back up. And then we need more friggin' abyss light. Dig out. We want that little barrier there. That's how we're getting up there. So close. I do like how it tells you now, like how much you've allotted to tasks and stuff. That's pretty awesome. Oh, look at all these eggs. So many things to do, which is why I like restarting bases a lot, because the farther I get, the more I'm like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do, and maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, and then I just end up not really doing anything of import. And then to this, and then we're gonna come down here, and then like this. We're gonna be out of abyss light again, but we're keeping up, sort of. 10 times speed is helpful sometimes. This is gonna like destroy this ice biome on its own. Which is whatever, because I'm gonna probably come down and destroy it later. And then do we have this light? Yes, we do. We're gonna go like this. And like this. Okay. So then we are just going to need to prime it from this water pump. Which I am already giving myself huge issues doing that the way I set up my pipes. Whoops, I'm not drawing a straight line. It's super awesome. And this pipe is just to put water in the line. And then it gets deconstructed. So this pipe can be made out of whatever, it doesn't matter. Still apparently making it out of bislite. Oh, that's because it's a bridge. Boop, like that. I just stubbed my toe on my computer tower. It's slightly uncomfortable. Are we still running out of food? Sure are. I guess to like help make up for that, instead of making mush bars for a little bit, I could actually let them make meal ice or lice loaf. That would be the smarter of those two options, I think. Because I kind of started just going to letting them eat like raw meal ice and conserving my water and not making lice loaf. So now you guys just gotta do this. Did we find anything else cool in our trek all the way up here? Nope. Doesn't really look like it. Jobs mastered, high stress. Yes, everything's going fantastically. Master the minor job. That's fine. Duplicate checkpoint and memory toggle. Yep. Research, are we working on anything else still? Yeah, celestial detection. Just fine. We're just gonna watch this get built. They should be able to reach all of this, can they? Nope. There we go, and then also to help keep it cool around here, we should have some Wheezewort. We did. I dug up a couple of Wheezeworts. I like to conserve my water because I assure you, if you continue watching the development of this base, I will neglect the fact that I am running out of water until it takes longer to fix it than I have water left. Because I'm cool like that. Maybe if I had not fucking drawn out these abyssal tiles. Cooling water is a thing that I struggled with for like a long time. So I got really good at making the initial water supply last for a long time. Same with power. I struggled for power like for a long time. I struggled with the self-powering like hydrogen electrolyzer setup thing. And let me tell you, I just got used to not using very much power. Yeah, this can be done. Like, right, meow. Thank you. Okay, so this is all primed. This can also be disconnected. This is actually gonna have to be fixed. It's gonna have to be, because it overwrote my insulated abyssal pipe. Like that. And then, so, yeah, what hamster wheels are for. But then the problem is you can't get anything done because they spend all of their time. Why are you starving? Because we only have meal lace. We're not making lace loaf. Why? Why are we not making lace loaf? Because then they're all running on the power wheels, and then you want to take, like, more dupes, and then you run out of food, and it just becomes this cascade of problems for me. In some ways, it is interesting that I like this game, because it kind of takes a long time to play, and I have issues with patience. Okay. And then, to the best of my knowledge, you still don't get... We're gonna tell them to empty this pipe. And we're gonna see if it collects the water, because I think it should if you go through the trouble of emptying the pipe. Which 2-tile jump? The one here? Or is there a 2-tile jump by the... I'm not sure which 2-tile... Oh shit, the food, you're right. No, they can't make that 2-tile jump. That would be a good portion of my problem, because I deleted what used to be the floor there, as in the pitcher pump. It's the thing. So I guess before somebody fucking starves to death, we're gonna let them eat bristleberry. I don't have... But she was trained as a plumber. Do you still have to... Do you have to actually, like, be actively a plumber now to do that? Oh, Woogie, you're laughing now, but I do that shit all the time. Where I, like, just suddenly make something unreachable and spend a good 10 minutes trying to figure out what the hell the problem is. And just can't see it. It's pretty bad. So we're just gonna do a thing and we're gonna just dump water all over their bedroom. I don't know if you watched the stream I did in, like, I think the first base I did when I started streaming Ani, where I built the fertilizer natural gas generator setup, but I forgot to put in a battery, so it, like, wasn't working properly. And I'm like staring at it, and I'm like, it kicks on for a second, and then it kicks off, and it kicks on. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't understand. And then all of a sudden, I realized I built this big, fancy, automated setup, and there's no fucking battery on it. And it took me, I swear to God, a half an hour to realize what I'd done wrong. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad indeed. Okay, now we're gonna build this. Stop eating meal lice. Stop eating bristleberry. But he's technically starving right now. This can also go. It doesn't need to be there. Bristleberry. Continuous for now. Okay, let's slow this down a little. Oh, I also wonder if, because using 10 times speed, there was at one point a known bug where your food just kind of disappeared. So I am wondering if that's not part of my problem. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna disable all of these. I'm not gonna deconstruct them just yet, because it's exactly the same thing with oxygen and research setup. Yeah, it's really easy to build a system and forget like a very key ingredient. And then not. And there's so many things. Like, I've watched other people stream Ani, and they're like doing something and they're focused on this little section, and you're like, oh my god, look in the top left corner, it's going terribly wrong up there, but they just don't see it because they're focused on something else, because it's that kind of game. Ugh, this area is already friggin' warm because of this stupid fucking geyser. So I'm not gonna deconstruct the outhouses just yet, because with different lengths of pipe every time, it can get difficult to, like, figure out exactly how much this should be on. So sometimes I have a point where it backs up and then this doesn't work. When this system gets backed up, which is why it's very important to vent out some water, when it backs up, it doesn't work. But this can go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. It's pretty bad though, because these are insulated abyssalite. Like, I did not, spared no expense when I built these tiles. But because it's been active the whole game, it was already getting bad before I got abyssalite for these tiles. So we're gonna have to do something about this steam geyser sooner rather than later, which is why I decided for exploration we were going up and over here. Huh? Jurassic Park, yeah. I love Jurassic Park. I love it so much. I'm so excited for the new one because it's a dinosaur movie and a volcano movie, and I also love volcano movies. It's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for it. My husband's like, they're okay. Like, how many movies can you make about dinosaurs eating people? And I'm like, a million of them? Like, a million. I would watch every Jurassic Park movie ever made. Fee Hammond. Yeah. It's a good reference. I like him. Spare no expense. Oh, so good. Love that movie. Anyway, it is almost 2 a.m. We're going to call the stream there because we finished the labor of love that we were doing for this particular stream. But I'm gonna really quickly turn back on. Why are you not, like, you need to make this. Like, my wife's funny the other day, she's never seen. She's never seen anything but the first. Oh my god. I have the first 3 on DVD box set. It's awesome. I haven't bought the like most recent one because like Netflix is a thing now. And pirating things off the internet is a thing now. But yeah, I'm super excited. They're so good. When the last one came out, I like binge watched all 3 of them the day before I went to see the new one. So, you know, it's a thing. But we're gonna call the stream here. It's getting kind of late and I need to get a reasonable amount of sleep tonight. Thank you to MB for the host and Solstice Shard for the raid and Tin Man for the raid. Super awesome. And for all the new followers and for anybody who like hung out and either lurked or chatted. I super appreciate seeing people drop by. And we will catch you next time, hopefully tomorrow when we stream again. But thanks everybody for stopping by. And if you didn't follow and you enjoyed it, hit follow you. Aw, shit. Well, this is the best way to end this stream. This is the first death. Okay. But anyway, if you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button to find out next time I go live and kill a duplicate at the most opportune time, like literally ever. We'll catch you guys next time. Good night.